Hey YouTube, it's your girl Duchess back for a recap of the YSL trial coverage. Today was day 118. We listened to more of the police interviews with Lil Woody, and there was a mistrial motion that happened at the 17-minute mark in court. So if you see my recaps, I am doing chapters, and in those chapters, I have descriptions, and you could just click the link and it'll take you right to that clip. So you kind of get everything all in one. The whole trial, if you want that, the whole day in court. Or you can just click on the little note there and see what happened and go straight to that clip. Rewind a few seconds and fast forward a few seconds, plus or minus a few seconds, but it gets you where you want to go. Um, Also, I start my lives a little bit later. I start them at about 11:30. I basically whatever time court is starting, I back it up a couple hours so that I can, not have to sit through the lunch break and sit through, you know, the break. So I end up streaming maybe 4 or 5 hours versus 8 hours in a day. That's another plus for watching it over here. And I have a really small community. So we really kind of get, our questions answered. We're learning a lot over here and it gets pretty intense. So it's a lot more personable. So feel free to come in during the day, pop in, pop out, see what we got going on over here. Check out the chapters and the details, and click the link. I'm growing this channel. It is my second channel. Both channels are really new. If you like TV reviews and that kind of thing, check out the link for Break Bread with Duchess 2.0. I'd love to see you over there as well. But without further ado, we're just kind of getting into when things got heated for Lil Woody. And this clip in the description it says the way that he looked at her, because we're towards the end of the day, and yeah, just before his cross examination, and it got really hard for me to watch. This is a very intense kind of thing. I'm not going to bore you with the details of that right now in this live, because the purpose of it is to kind of give you little clips. And so I'll be working on that piece, just kind of adding the content to the channel. So I appreciate you being here. Without further ado, we are going to get into this clip that in the chapter section, it says the way that he looked at her. And you will see what I mean in a moment. Let's go.
I'm going to show you, or I just showed you what's been marked as Exhibit 381Y. Again, your Instagram name was 725_Woody.
What happened?
Your Instagram name, again, it was 725_Woody.
A lot of people had my Instagram. I ain't seen that message.
Okay. Do you see what that message says?
Nah, I just heard what you said.
Okay. Are you able to read what's on that page that's circled in red?
I heard what you just said. It said.
Do you recall sending that to him?
Can you tell me what the date is?
Sure, on October 6, 2021.
Was I in jail?
I don't know. Were you in jail?
Then I just asked you.
I know that you got arrested on October 27, 2021. So before that, before getting arrested on October 27th, were you in custody at all prior to that?
So this was before I went to jail?
Yes.
So why would I DM him? Why would I message him and say that?
First, answer the question. Is that your Instagram name?
Listen,
725_Woody.
I would not do nothing so stupid like that. I would not message nobody saying that. Why would I say that?
Okay. So you don't recognize that as your Instagram name?
I don't recognize me them and no look D talking about something. They no.
Okay.
I know how the police operate. Why would I do that?
Why did you think that you and D were going to get indicted for?
Yes. Speak into your mic if you don't mind.
To my understanding, this exhibit is not in evidence,
That's correct.
and I'm going to object to the publishing of this exhibit through.
I don't think she's gonna publish it. You don't intend to publish it, do you? Because it's not in evidence. Okay.
And we're almost.
I would just further
done.
my objection, Your Honor, that it assumes facts that are not in evidence.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on from that last
All right.
question. Now, you said that everything you told the police, you made it all up. When did you make it all up?
You keep saying everything. I keep telling you, like I know how to piece stuff together real good.
The stuff you made up, whatever parts you said you made up, when did you make it all up?
As I go.
Did you make it up with anyone else?
I don't recall. They look at me like that.
Okay, Mr. Copeland, isn't it true that you're supposed to be testifying under an immunity agreement?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't have a clue about none of this stuff. I told y'all from the start, y'all to put me in here. Like I don't comprehend. I done told y'all that time after time. I don't know what the immunity agreement is. I don't have a clue. Like I'm up under so much pressure. Like, man, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer y'all question because I don't know what type. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to be as truthful as possible. And y'all keep going back into the past. I told y'all when I was talking to y'all in the back, man, I have lied. And y'all don't put me up on here telling me that I gotta be truthful when I'm telling y'all. Man, I don't know. Man, I'm afraid for my life. Every time y'all call me here, I think y'all finna take my life, take my freedom. And at this point, I can't call on nobody for help. I don't know what's going on.
Were you told before you testified that anything you testified to in the courtroom could not be used against you?
Can you say that again?
Before you took the stand, were you told that anything that you testified to in court could not be used against you?
What you mean?
Before you took the stand, were you told by myself, Ms. Love, anyone sitting at this table, that anything you testified to could not be used against you?
Anything I testify to can't be used against me?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Yeah, and matter of fact, last week, didn't you ask the judge, you turned around and you asked her, nothing I said could be used against me, right? And you asked the judge-
Okay.
Okay. And isn't it true that under this immunity agreement, you were told that you could be charged with perjury?
You say I could be charged with who?
Perjury.
I don't even know what perjury is.
Okay. Were you told also in this immunity agreement that you could be charged if you committed false swearing?
I was told, I asked specifically so I can understand. I asked you, I said, what happened when y'all locked me up? Y'all told me two things I go to jail for. If I pleaded fifth, and if I say that I had committed a crime that I didn't do.
Okay.
So I don't know what perjury mean. I don't know. I mean, I'm afraid for my life. And I told y'all that. I told it to my lawyer. I tell it to the judge. I tell it to everybody. Y'all got me up here. I don't know what's going on. And like I said, for the crimes that y'all charged me with, I went to jail. I did all my time for it. Y'all still bring me in here. I feel like I'm on trial at this point. I'm going to jail because I don't know. Y'all got me up here asking me questions. I don't know how to answer these questions. Y'all want me to be a witness to something I don't know nothing about.
Isn't true that even with the immunity agreement, you did not want to testify?
Can you explain it?
Sure. Even when you were given immunity, you did not want to testify.
No, I still don't want to testify.
And is it true that you feel that you were pressured by the state to testify?
I feel like I was pressured by both sides, the state and the defense.
And is it true that you told me in front of these jurors a couple weeks ago you felt pressured to testify?
And I still, right now, I feel pressured to testify because it's not like I'm up here it's not, I can't sit here and tell y'all, nothing. I don't know what y'all want me, I don't know what y'all looking for. I didn't see nobody kill nobody. I didn't see nobody rob nobody. I didn't see none of these boys do anything. I did some stupid things. I got caught for the stupid things that I was doing. And I just went from there. Like, I didn't. And then y'all got me up here. And I done told y'all before y'all put me up here, y'all can't talk to me on like a Tuesday or something. And you can't talk to me in the streets. And I told you, like, I lied. And I told you that. And then y'all still brought me in here.
Isn't it true that you did not want to testify because you don't want to deal with the reality of being labeled a snitch?
Miss Hilton, I was been labeled a snitch way before I had to come to trial when y'all linked that video out to the social media. So the world look at me as a snitch no matter what goes on to this day. But me coming here, like I have put my faith in God's hands, and I come here and I let it be known. I guess got no choice but to be letting know to y'all now that I have told y'all time after time that I done lied.
And a snitch is someone who actually tells the truth, correct?
Listen, Miss Hilton, like, I mean, like, I feel like I got the world on my back now. You ask me these questions, like, I don't know, man. Like, y'all draining me. I mean, like, for real. It's just different if I sat here and seen somebody commit a crime, and then I saw them with my own eyes do this, and then I get in here and say, I didn't see them do that. Y'all want me to sit here and say, oh, the stories that I have put on other people's, and I didn't. Like, I would not do that. Like, and Lord knows I want to be with my family and my kids, but if y'all gonna put me back in jail because I won't sit right here and tell y'all what y'all believe to be whatever y'all want me to say. Like, I mean, I don't want to go to jail, but man, at this point, I don't, man, y'all got me, man. I don't know, man. I can't sleep at night. Like, I tell you, y'all hold me in jail, don't feed me, don't give me water. Like, I just don't know. Like, every time I walk in this door, I pray and hope I walk back out this door. I just want to be left alone. I paid for my punishment. And I done told y'all before y'all put me right here in this seat. Time after time, I told Judge Glanville in his office. I done told everybody, I can tell. And I'm telling you to your face, I know it don't have anything to do with you, you doing your job. But I've been nice to you and I've been telling you that you can't put me up here and I told you, I done made it up. It's a difference if I seen one of these guys actually do something and you ask me, did they do it? If you ask me, did they do something that I actually saw them do it? And I would tell you, yeah, I saw him do that. Yeah, I was with him when he did that. But this is not the case.
And you just told police what Demekion told you, correct?
I told the police anything to get them off of me. I was going through a phase. People were shooting at me while I had my kid. And my only priority was by any means necessary to protect them with my whole fucking life. Judge, I get a minute because they drive me crazy.
Yeah, take a minute, take a breath.
Keep telling y'all.
No, stay here. Come here. Stay on the stand. Take some breaths. Calm down.
And once he finishes his breath, Your Honor, state, we conclude our questioning, Your Honor.
Well, do you have any more questions?
No.
Okay.
Judge, can I go home?
All right. No, it may be that some of the defense attorneys or all of them might have questions for you as well. So we're.
Y'all, that was hard. That was so hard to watch today. It was hard to watch. If you notice at the beginning of this clip, there was an objection because she was going down a road, and the next move is to admit that into evidence. There has been like little kind of slips like that. That was one at the very beginning today, where a portion of the interview was played that wasn't supposed to be played for the jury. Notice that when they brought that to her attention, she kind of regressed. She went into this piece. And so that moment was so intense. Brian still did start his cross examination, and Woody was so in his, like, he's so on the defense and the offense, doesn't really know who to trust, what to say, because the perjury thing kind of hangs over his head as well. And so br- my thing was, if I was the defense, my strategy would be, and if you look at this live, you'll see it in the chat where I said that, to focus on the area where he implicated Threat, his friend, he implicated him, to focus on that area and try to question him in a way that in a friendly way, so he's not defensive, and you can kind of counter some of the things that, you know, have been proposed as evidence or whatever. So without further ado, let's get into a portion of Brian Still's cross. That is 446. Okay, that's the lie. Hold on. I need to fix that. All right, so let's go back. I got y'all. I got you. I promise.
Man, at this point, I don't. Man,
Let me ask you this way. Realizing that
at this point, I don't. Man, y'all got me,
I
man.
got
I
you.
don't know, man.
January 6th of 2015,
I didn't get beat.
do you remember having,
Okay, here we go.
I want to talk with you about verification or corroboration of statements made to law enforcement by you that we listen to on recordings, okay? And by verification, I mean something that, besides your word, it supports what you say, okay? Do you understand what I'm asking you?
Well, he didn't ask you anything yet. Do you understand what he's saying?
I don't understand that. You on?
Maybe just ask him a question.
So the district attorney Hilton started to talk with you about what she said, verification of what you said to the police. So I want to talk to you about verification or lack thereof, okay? If you don't understand anything, just tell me you don't understand. The first one that Ms. Hilton said is that Jeffrey rented a Infiniti vehicle. Remember that? Yes or no?
I don't recall.
Do you remember she put up for you State's Exhibit number 334Y? It said Hertz on it. You were talking about some of the words on the exhibit behind you. Do you
I don't
remember that?
recall.
Okay. Do you remember getting beaten in Club Crucial on the early morning hours of Tuesday, January 6th of 2015?
I didn't get beat.
Do you remember having your lip cut open, a knot on the
No,
top of your head,
No, I didn't have. I just had a knot on my face.
and your eyes swollen? You remember that? Do you remember that? Yes or no?
I don't recall.
If that's on the early morning hours of January 6th of 2015, do you remember going to Jeffrey Williams?
I don't
Next
remember
day.
nothing from 2015.
Well, let me finish my question. Do you remember going to Jeffrey Williams the next day and explaining that you got beaten at Club Crucial and you needed a car because you didn't want to drive around in the car that you typically drive around because you didn't want to be noticed in the area? Do you remember telling him that?
I don't recall.
Do you remember saying
All right,
to,
hang on a second. When there's an objection on the floor, let me hear the objection and make a ruling on it, all right? Before you ask the next question. assuming he's moved on, so we're not going to worry about that one. Go ahead.
Do you remember saying to Jeffrey Williams that you needed a car and he was driving? He had a Corvette vehicle, a rental car from Hertz. Do you remember that?
I don't recall.
Do you remember realizing that a Corvette has 2 seats and you have a child with a car seat as well as your child's mother, Deshawn, at that time, and you needed a bigger car? I'm asking questions to see whether he remembers this conversation.
Okay, sustained that, that is not a fact in evidence at this point. You
The
can.
question, to ask him if it's happened.
So you may ask that question.
That's my question. Do you remember that?
Hmm,
Do you remember saying that to Jeffrey?
saying what?
That you couldn't use a Corvette. He had a rental Corvette. You needed a bigger car because a Corvette's a 2-seater.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember Jeffrey saying, sure?
Sustained.
Do you remember going to Hertz Rental Car at approximately 8 o'clock at night on January 7th of 2015 so that Jeffrey could get you a rental car, an Infiniti rental car?
He can ask whether he remembers that or not.
I don't remember.
Do you remember telling this jury on direct examination weeks ago that that rental car, that Infiniti, was in your care?
I said it?
Yeah. Do you remember saying that?
No.
Do you remember driving that Infiniti rental car from the time it was picked up from the Hertz rental car on January 7, 2015 until it was returned on January 12, 2015?
Hmm,
Do you remember driving that Hertz rental car that we're talking about from the time it was picked up on January 7, 2015 and having control of it until it was returned on January 12, 2015?
I don't remember 2015.
Do you remember driving with Mr. Zachary? Little D. Do you remember driving with Mr. Zachary and striking cones on the side of the road on the highway and damaging the Infiniti rental car? Do you remember doing that?
I don't recall.
Do you remember giving that Infiniti rental car to other people on the night of January 10th, 2015?
I can't remember 2015.
Let me ask you this way. Do you deny having that Infiniti rental car January 7th of 2015?
What you mean?
Did you have that car in and around your person?
I gave the car to Threat.
Okay. You told the jury that you gave that car to your friend, and threat is Mr. Turner. You know his last name? True? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the for the court report as a yes. Is that fair?
Yes.
And you told the jury you gave the car to Mr. Turner the day of the killing of Donovan Thomas. From that morning to that night. Do you know what I'm talking about? January 10th, 2015.
I didn't mean to say that.
Okay. But that's what you said.
Out of frustration.
All right. Now, you also had that rental car, not only when you gave it to Mr. Turner, your friend, but you had that rental car before you gave it to Mr. Turner, obviously, right? Otherwise, you couldn't give it to him.
I don't recall.
And you had the rental car after you gave it to Mr. Turner, right?
I don't recall.
All right. Let me ask you this. getting to the fact that the state showed you that on State's Exhibit 334Y, that Jeffrey rented the Infiniti from Hertz, you were there, right?
I can't remember.
That has nothing to do at the time of this killing, does it? That's 3 days before, right?
I can't remember.
And what you're telling the jury, or what the state wants you, I believe, to tell the jury, is that Jeffrey Williams rented a car. I think it's clear.
Re-ask your question.
Okay. Jeffrey Williams, therefore, rents a car in his own name that's going to be used in the killing of Donovan Thomas. That's what you're telling the jury.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to try to find this spot where Kenneth Copeland begins to understand that Brian Steele is not trying to get him crossed up. Like, it's like, let's help each other here. I think that's the tone of that. The reason why he's reluctant to answer, because one, he don't know when or if he will perjure himself, and that's not what he's trying to do. The state has put him through the ringer. He didn't even want to be on the stand, and he tried to plead the fifth and all of that. So there's a whole backstory there. You just heard his emotional moment of this testimony and all of this stuff. And so it's clear to me from Steele's question, it's like, this doesn't mean that this was done this was 3 days before. So this doesn't mean that he rented this car for this purpose. And that kind of gives them both an out. He said that he gave the car to Threat, and that person had history and all other kind of things. So he wasn't there, and he doesn't really know. He got frustrated on the stand and he let that out. He let another thing out, and I just won't mention it here, but it kind of gets both of them away from it. If he can follow the questioning, the problem is he does not trust him. And we kind of understand that. So you can watch this through the end. Right now, we are at minute 4:54. I'm going to try to find the space, and it goes to 5:37. What ultimately happens is there is an issue with the juror. They need a break. He's going to talk to his attorney. And so they get that break. I was grateful for that. And then there's an issue with the juror, and Brian still says, well, this is going to take a little bit longer than 15 minutes. So I'm fine with us resuming tomorrow. So they don't really get into a whole lot. They get that break. He's able to spend that time with his attorney. And so tomorrow may be much better. The state still has opportunity to cross him, to redirect or whatever after Brian Steele gets through. And then there's other defense attorneys that may question him as well. So that's kind of where we are. He plays the video of Mr. Williams going into the gas station, at the gas station with the rental car. It's the same video that the state played to kind of place this situation in motion. And so he uses that video, and he gets Woody to a space to where he just says, listen, just watch it and tell me if you see him. And he doesn't flinch. He doesn't move. It's like he's saying, I don't see him in this video. So, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't see him. And I'm hoping that kind of gives Steele what he wants. He's going to talk to him more tomorrow, but I'm interested to see how it plays out tomorrow. This got really, really intense today, just all of it. And again, I I guess I'm digressing to not try to find that clip, because you really can watch the last 30 minutes of it. And I don't know if anybody will even be watching through the end of this anyway. But um, this case is very interesting to me. And it is a lot going on. And this is just the first important witness. There's a couple more. And I'm not as emotionally invested in all the things because there weren't any rights that I know of that have been violated. But the way that they got to this place, I realize the state is doing their job and I appreciate them doing what they are supposed to do. You also have the victims out there that deserve justice. So there's a lot that's being accused here. Um, and so I understand why they're going so hard in the paint. But what concerns me is the illegal moves and the tricks of it all, and the violation of rights. And that has been kind of like my theme as I followed this case, that if they are willing to do this to five guys on such a publicized thing, and the the tactics that they have done, knowing that these things may get out, knowing that the laws and the rules and the rights have, and all of that, it just kind of gives me concern or alarms of how many people that have been wrongfully just to kind of get the numbers where they need to. So I am sensitive to both sides. I'm not in favor of the state being rewarded for the rights that they violated. And, I don't really know. I've been looking at this from a like a juror perspective, I had to check out of that today. And, if at this point, if I was the juror, then this Kenneth Copeland's testimony would kind of be null and void to me. Everything about his piece would be null and void because he has maintained and he has really good reason to. And you see kind of pieces of that listen, I said whatever I could to get out of trouble and to keep from going to this place. And right now I'm telling you the truth. And I'm sorry that it contradicts what I said, but this is the truth. And so you have me under oath and I'm telling you the truth. And I don't want to be here anyway. You made me be here. And this is all that I have. And so it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And anyway, I won't keep going with that. I just wanted to kind of give this clip. I'm trying to find the balance on just giving just enough and, not overdoing it. And I'll come back with more clips of day 118. And I'll kind of do that a little bit each day, um, to kind of let you guys know the key moments that have happened. So I am not going to find that clip as I promised. It is because it would just make it too choppy. But, I gave you the timestamp. The timestamps are there. It's about 30 more minutes past this place. And we don't get to hear what's happening with the juror because it's their personal business. But tomorrow, it's going to be Brian Still all day. And if I'm honest, I'm hoping that if other attorneys decide to cross him, that they kind of use the same tactic. And it's almost over. And the only thing that will remain after the Kenneth Copeland saga is what will the state or the federals try to do with him as a result of this case. I do think that a good attorney could help him because he's not supposed to be in this position anyway. It's just not supposed to be that way. But, you know, we'll see. Anyway, this your girl Duchess. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys watching. Anyone that tuned in, please jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Check the chapters out in the entire day of 118. You can kind of basically kind of skim through and get key points. Um, so I thought that would be good. Consider joining the live in our small community and watching it with us. And get your thoughts heard, be able to kind of converse really, really, instead of just watching in a bunch of chats kind of rolling through the screen. That was a dig, wasn't it? I didn't intend that. I'm just trying to promote my channel. And again, if you are interested in TV stuff and reviews and growing that channel, it's a fun space, not so fun space sometimes because, I'm a perfectionist and I want to get it all right. And I have to be gentle with myself in that. So if you'd like to support that channel, please feel free to slide on over there. And I appreciate you watching. It's your girl Duchess, and I'm out.